Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So by the title you can tell that this is already somewhat of a controversial take. So before you angrily type away, I just want to let you know that whatever argument you give defending gold, I probably agree with. So as a bit of background, the reason why I got into Bitcoin in the first place was because of precious metals. So back in the Ron Paul heyday of Austrian economics and the proliferation of knowledge about the federal bank, that was kind of like a golden age for a lot of young libertarian types to start getting into precious metals as it became red pilled about the importance that gold had in stabilizing a financial system. And that was a modus operandi for me. You know, I started off stacking silver and gold when I was like 16, 17, when I was working at Hungry Jack's and KFC. This is what I was doing with all my money, and I continued to do that as over the many years. And then when I found out about Bitcoin, I just transferred all of my wealth into that instead, because I felt that it served all the same purposes. So if you came to this video thinking that I was going to say a lot of bad things about gold, you've come to the wrong video. Instead, what I'm going to be doing is making a video essentially as to why I just believe Bitcoin is better. Not that gold is inherently bad, it's just that all the things that gold could have done, Bitcoin just does better. So I'm going to show you a few things that is going to help me prove my point here. And, you know, a lot of the problems that I had with Bitcoin are no longer problems for me now. So I'll give you an example, right? So one of the problems that I had with Bitcoin, like many people, was that it just wasn't useful. You couldn't use Bitcoin to buy and sell things. And this is ultimately the point of what an alternative currency is supposed to be. I mean, if you can only use Bitcoin as a store of value, then what's the point, right? The reason why it's supposed to have value is because you can trade it, right? And gold was one day it used to be at that stage. For most of the entirety of human history, gold was the principal way of exchanging goods and services, right? In fact, what's awesome about gold is if you think about it, it grew independently in different cultures, right? So this isn't just some cultural facet of like the West, you know. Even before the Silk Road, you know, gold was heavily used in China, it was used in India, it was used in Egypt and throughout the Fertile Crescent. So that's amazing. That's an amazing thing about gold. You could actually use gold to buy and sell things. But unfortunately, since gold has been depegged from the dollar, and you know, fiat currency has ultimately replaced gold, you just can't really use gold to buy and sell things, right? So but this was an accepted feature of gold bugs. You know, I think a lot of gold bugs would say, well, look, it's just a store of value. It's not really expected to do anything else. But that's where I would come in and say that Bitcoin could do that better. Now, Bitcoin had this problem for a long time. It was theoretical money. It was because of transaction fees and a number of other problems that it's been plagued with for a number of years. Bitcoin was not traditionally used as a means of exchange. It kind of took on that the gold's kind of modus operandi of being a store of value, which I was always against. But the time has now changed, where you can really use Bitcoin for a lot of, I don't know, maybe like 90% of goods and services payment. And I'm going to show you how, and that's going to explain why I believe that Bitcoin is better than gold. So I want to give you an example, right? Like, one of the gold standards for Bitcoin adoption has been when you can finally use Bitcoin to buy a latte. And I'm going to show you a few ways that you can essentially do that, and it's going to prove my point. So I've got this website called Bitrefill. Bitrefill is a site where you can buy gift cards with cryptocurrency, right? It's got all the main cryptos, of course, including Bitcoin. And you know, I'm originally from Australia. I'm Australian, and we've got a supermarket called Coles, right? And you can buy gift cards using Bitcoin to buy these Coles gift cards, and these are e-gift cards, right? So when you buy, like, say, a $25 gift card, you'll just get a code, and you've got this, you can download an app where you can basically store these codes, and you can like take a picture of the QR code or the barcode or whatever. So when you go to the self-service checkout in Coles, you open up the app and you scan the barcode that you got from this website, and you're able to pay using the gift card. And you might say, well, that's too many steps. I don't like it. But if you think about it, like, how is that much more inconvenient than just going to the ATM and withdrawing cash, right? With this, you just go to some website. You don't have to provide any KYC. You don't have to provide any personal information. You go there, you anonymously make a purchase with your cryptocurrency, and you can use one of the faster cryptos if you want. They've got USDT, TRC20, they've got Litecoin, they've got all kinds of stuff. They might even have Bitcoin Lightning, right? And, you buy it, then you've got the code, and then it's as good as legal tender after that, right? And this isn't just with Coles, right? And by the way, with what I was saying about the coffee, you could go to Coles, with your gift card that you used, you purchased with crypto, and you can now buy some coffee, right? But you say, oh, well, that's only Coles. What else? Well, I'm pretty sure you could do the same with Starbucks. So if you like getting coffee at Starbucks, I'm pretty sure there's way more besides just that. But let's have a look. Oh, look, every single country available, not even just Australia. You get everything from Canada Starbucks and India Starbucks, Malaysia Starbucks. Let's just go with a Canada Starbucks, right? So you use your crypto, you buy your Canadian Starbucks gift card, and then you've got it saved on your app. And then you go scan it at the Starbucks when you go buy your cappuccino. Can you really tell me that this is more complicated than just going to the ATM, right? Like, I'm sure when you were a kid, at some stage, going to the ATM was daunting when you'd never done it before. Maybe you'd watch adults do it, but you'd never done it yourself. What I'm talking about now, has like a very small learning curve as well. Like, once you do it the first time and you get used to it, this will become your main way of just dealing with stuff. If you want to live in Bitcoin and use it as an actual means of exchange and not just collecting dust like the Bitcoin maxis or the gold bugs would have you, where it's just a store of value. If you actually want to use it like you should, then you should be going to sites like Bitrefill. Again, you can use my referral link in the description down below. You can do practically anything. You can buy SIM cards. You can fill up your phone data. Don't forget, here we go. You got Amazon and eBay. You can buy literally anything from Amazon and eBay. You can deliver things, DoorDash. I mean, practically anything you want to buy online, you can do so with a gift card. And anything you want to buy in real life, almost anything you can buy online, right? So the point that I'm trying to make is we've already got tools available to us that will allow us to turn cryptocurrency directly into, in some sense, legal tender, or turn it into goods and services, right? Another thing you can do is essentially turn Bitcoin into cash. You can do so. It's not as simple, but I'm going to explain some of the benefits of doing that. Ultimately, to make my point that Bitcoin is far more liquid and usable as a means of payment compared to gold. Whereas with gold, it's such a pain in the butt. And I'll go into that, and I'll go into it right now. I'll explain why gold is such a pain in the ass by comparison, right? So I'm going to show you a way that you can turn your Bitcoin into cash, and then from your cash, you can buy anything you want with it, right? But if you want to turn gold back into cash, imagine you've been sitting on gold, it's been sitting on safe, you now want to make it liquid so you can do stuff with it. Like the good old days, like hundreds of years ago, you could just have a gold coin in your pocket or a couple of silver coins in your pocket, and you then go to the marketplace to buy some groceries. If you want to have a similar experience, you're going to have to go to one of those bullion dealers, or God forbid, a pawn shop, and you're going to have to deal with them. Now, if you are going to deal with them, don't go to a pawn shop. They will basically they'll scalp you. You'll be selling Bitcoin at gold at 20% below spot price, right? It's a form of theft as far as I'm concerned, right? And even if you go to these bullion dealers, like here on ChatGPT, it says, it could be 1 to 5%. I mean, I've had bad luck selling it at 10%, right? And maybe it was just maybe they just didn't have a lot of liquidity, or maybe they just haggled me down. I don't know what it was, but I'm assuming that this 1 to 5% is like, in some major city in America. Maybe it's different now in Australia, but yeah, 5% is not very good. I mean, you have to understand the gold. Every time you buy gold, it's essentially automatically 5% down in value because you're gonna have to sell it at some stage, right? And the sad cope that I read about and when I talk to gold bugs about this, like, no, the idea is that you never sell it. And I can understand that in principle, but the fact is you can't eat a gold bar. If you can't even trade gold bar for food, you can't trade your gold bar to pay for your rent. So it's literally just collecting dust and looking pretty. Unlike with Bitcoin, it can be a store of value. You can sit in it, it can collect dust. But when you want to turn it into liquid cash so you can actually buy real life goods and services, you can do that instantaneously and it's not going to cost you 5%. So what I was going to show you is that if you want to turn Bitcoin into cash, I'm going to give you a few strategies, right? And these are ones that I've used very effectively. So what you want to do is you can create connections with other people. You can go to these various Bitcoin meetups in your city, meet people, and just tell people that you're interested in selling Bitcoin for cash. And with this, you're going to find people that are interested in doing the opposite, right? A lot of people are working cash jobs and they just want to sell, they just want to turn their cash into Bitcoin. And you'll get a lot of people that are willing to trade that way. And once you make a few connections, then, you can now just hit up your cash guy in exchange for Bitcoin. And that's a way that you can do it. And what's good about this as well is you can sell it above market rate because the leverage is in your favor because there's much more people willing to buy cash for Bitcoin instead of people willing to sell cash for Bitcoin. So this seems like a little bit complicated, and I know this is not as convenient as going to an ATM. So I'm going to give you something that's even better than that. I give this as my first solution because at least you can meet the people first and you can gain trust and you can do it around other people in your Bitcoin group. So, nothing too crazy will happen. But another option that you can do, and this is another really good method, is you can sell Bitcoin or cryptocurrency in general for cash via a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchange, right? So I've got local CoinSwap here. Again, you can use my referral link in the description down below. And there's a few ways that you can turn your cryptocurrency into cash. So the first way is something called cash by mail. And what you've got here are people that are willing to buy, this is Tether. Oh, sorry, these are people selling selling Tether in exchange for cash by mail, right? So if you click on the if you create an offer to sell cryptocurrency, you can make an offer to sell, and the payment method will be cash by mail. So the benefit to this is that you're able to, again, sell above market rate because there's just more people that are willing to buy than there are willing to sell, right? So you might not be able to snap your fingers and get it instantly, but if you're patient, you'll be able to at least sell your cryptocurrency above what you paid it for, right? So you've got these guys here, they're selling Bitcoin at 8% above the market rate in exchange for cash by mail. Now, what that entails is someone puts a bunch of cash in an envelope, mails it to you, and then when you receive it, you release the cryptocurrency that's locked in escrow. So, and if you think that that's too much of a laborious process, and you don't have to take the time to build up like a trading reputation, then you can do it instantly. So instead of creating an offer and becoming a seller, there are people that are doing these instant trade options, right? So you've got this person here. You can sell to this person instantly, right? Like you don't have to wait a long time. It is 1.5% below market rate. So if you sell this person $100 worth of USDT, you'll get like $98.50 worth of Australian dollars back. So you open a trade to sell with this person. Your USDT will be locked in escrow. You provide your delivery email, and this person will send you by mail cash, right? So that's another good way of turning your cryptocurrency into cash, and it's the fastest method out of all the ones that I've shown you so far. But if you don't like cash by mail because you think it's dangerous, there's also a few other options. There's cardless cash, cash deposit. That's basically where someone, they deposit cash using an ATM directly into your bank account. Another one is cash in person. This is another one you can do. You've got this one here in Melbourne. Someone's selling USDT for cash at 3% below market rate. So these are some options, right? So the ideas that I'm sharing with you now are not what I'd call like mainstream within crypto, right? These are very niche-based ideas, right? I'm telling these things to you because I found out about these things being a peer-to-peer seller and being heavily involved in the peer-to-peer trading world, right? So most people are still waiting for total Bitcoin adoption to take place so they can get to the point where they can use Bitcoin to buy and sell regular things, and they can use it as a replacement for fiat currency. But I hope that you can understand with the tips that I've shown you that you can actually already live that life. If you want to live a debanked life, you can use some of the ideas that I've shown you. You can also subscribe to my channel if you want more ideas. And make sure to sign up with my referral link in the description down below if you want to use local coin swap to create a fluid trade between fiat and crypto. And I think that's just a really great way to live life, without using fiat and just living in crypto. Now, when it comes to gold, you just can't do these things with gold. And you might have been able to do these things 100 years ago in some bygone era. You'd keep your golds like in some safe, you'd store it under your bed, and then you go to the market, you buy stuff, but that doesn't exist in the world anymore. Now, could that happen in some foreseeable future? I honestly believe, yes, I really do believe that is going to happen in the future, because that has just been what has been going on since time immemorial. And we live in a blip in history where we live in with this unstable monetary tool, which is fiat currency, which has been inflated to infinity. And I think gold is going to make a resurgence. It might be because of BRICS making new currency. I don't know what it might be. It could be because, the world becomes a nuclear inferno and we have to start from scratch. And it might be like a lot of the bunko schizos would say, where it's like you then have to sell your silver. You'd have to use silver to, buy stuff at the local market, while you're living in your fallout shelter, right? I could see these things as being a reality. You could one day maybe use gold again, but that time is not now, and I don't know when that time is going to be. And the fact that you can't use gold to do these basic kind of transactions is also going to stop it. It's one less utility that it should have, and it's also something that's going to make it worth not as much as it could be. I mean, it's going to be a great way to prevent inflation, and it's always going to be valuable, but it's not going to go up. And you might say that's not a bad thing, but I think it is a bad thing that you can't trade things with Bitcoin. And again, it could happen, but I don't think it's going to happen soon. Where people are saying, well, the same thing about Bitcoin, like theoretically one day we could use Bitcoin to buy and sell things. No. We're already at that stage. It's just a matter of willingness. So take my tips to heart. I hope you check out some of the things that I've shown you, even if you don't want to use a referral link. And if you want to get more tips and advice about how to debank and live a debanked life, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.